Hey folks, this is Ace. This episode is going to be a little different than usual because it was dedicated to the ranking of the character themes from Ultra Street Fighter 4. The slight issue we have is that obviously that involves a whole lot of copyrighted music. And I really don't want to get destroyed by lawyers. So that music is not in this podcast. We are including a link to the playlist that we used in the description, so be sure to check that out to listen along. Other than that, enjoy the show. Welcome everyone to Best of Five, your weekly FGC talk show. Or at least most weeks, it's your weekly FGC talk show. My name is Ace King Offsuit, aka Steve Jurek. Normally, this show is captained by our fearless leader, Elan. However, he had a bit of a last minute work thing come up, so I am rocking solo, and that presented me with a conundrum, if you will. Now, I could talk about all of the goings on of the FGC like I normally do, except just talk amongst myself. I could be talking about the postponement of Genesis and how that happened so close to the event. I could be talking about the fact that uh, the developers of Them's Fighting Herds, Main 6, just got picked up by a new publisher. They got acquired by a new company, excuse me. Speaking of acquirements, I could be talking about uh, Microsoft picking up Activision Blizzard for $69 billion. I could be talking about $1.3 million of pricing for the newest season of Brawlhalla. I'm with it today, I swear. I could be talking about that, but I gave Twitter the other option. That was either I do the normal show by myself or we go into the tier list of Street Fighter 4 character themes. And seeing as how this setup is the way it is, it's pretty obvious which way Twitter went. So we are ranking the top, well, all 44 character themes today. Uh, I've already created my tier list, and it's not just a straight up tier list. It has an X and a Y axis. So the vertical axis is going to be the quality of the song in and of itself. Is it a banger? Is it something you play in the gym or to get you going or whenever the mood strikes you? Or is it just something you just kind of want to ignore? The horizontal axis is about how well the song fits the character. Over here, obviously, it's a perfect fit for the character. Over here, it's not. Where's your favorite going to go? How much are you going to want to yell at me after this? Uh, Let me remind you, the Twitter universe, decided on this. So if you don't like what I got to say, it's your fault. That's all you need to know. Also, I don't know if this is going to make it to. Well, it probably will make it on YouTube. It's probably going to be muted in some capacity because we want to avoid getting struck down for copyright. So This is going to be the only chance you get to hear it in its unedited glory. Um, but with all of that said, let's kick things off. I've got all the characters organized. I've got the playlist shuffled and ready to go here. So let's kick off with the old standby, the the Eternal Warrior, Mr. Ryu. Let's remind ourselves how that theme goes. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, and then eventually, it builds. Okay, so let's take that down. Very techno heavy. Obviously, that's a big through thread. Through thread. Uh, that's a word now. It is a word. It's a very strong thread throughout the entire playlist. Um, Ryu Ryu is a tough one to mess up. This one I think they did mess up. So as we go quality of song, I would say it's a little below little above average. But as you know, how well it fits Ryu, not so much. So we're gonna kick it off, putting Ryu's theme right here, right here. You know, middle of the road in terms of quality, but lots of room for improvement for fitting the character. Uh, we talk about Ryu, of course. We got to talk about Ken next, or Ken, not Ken. Oh, I have shuffled on. That's why. So it's got this nice intro. Obviously, that good stinger right at the beginning, and it has sort of this updated old kung fu movie feel, which I really like. So let me fade that out. Okay, so again, it's not necessarily the top of the line, I would say, in terms of the quality. It is. I'm gonna I'm gonna move Ryu's up a little bit in terms of song quality, but move it back in song fitness. This one fits him quite a bit better, I would say. Uh, I'd say it's a little better than Ryu's too, so I'm gonna go right here with Gen. Right about here, very strong. Probably be a B if we're doing a straight up tier list. Solid B plus. Uh, there's still room up here. There's still room in this area of the grid, but he's got a hell of a lot more behind him than in front of him. So who's next? I'm just doing this random. Okay, eight on. All right, let me get it started here. All right, I love this guitar intro. And then here's where it gets good. See, that is such. Oh, I love that. And let me. When it goes double time, it goes even harder. It goes even harder when it goes double time. Oh, man. So, yeah. Annoying as hell to fight, annoying as hell to listen to when you're fighting, but that song goes hard. Um, it's going to be right up here. It goes real hard. I know some of you might disagree with that, but that is a top tier song. That is a top tier song. Not necessarily the top, but it's up there. We're off to a very strong start. Who is next? Is it Scott? It is. Okay. Intro's okay. Intro's okay. And here's the thing. Here's the thing: once you get to the core of the song, or at least this part of it sounds good, but it doesn't have like that sense of dread, that sense of intimidation. Picks up a little bit farther on, but still not quite what I'm looking for. Uh, it's this weird mix where, you know, as a song, I like it. It maybe not as much as Ryu's, but I like it a lot. But it doesn't quite give me the feeling that I think of when I think of Sagat. I want more fear. I want more intimidation. I want more anger there. It's just not quite doing it for me. So I'm going to have to go a little lower here for Sagat. Next up, Mr. Edmund Honda. How you doing today? Play. There. Play. There we go. So again, the intros on most of these are really good. And this feels like a nice evolution of his theme. Doesn't really it's similar to Sagat's in that it doesn't really have that intimidation factor that I'm looking for. It doesn't feel like I'm fighting a big massive sumo, but it's still a banger. It's still a really good song, I have to say. So, Mr. Honda, we are going to take you. It's not as good as Gen's, though. Probably a little worse than Ryu's, but maybe a bit more fitting. So, right over here. That's where we're going with this. Um, so, yeah, everything, in terms of song quality, above board so far. That's a good start. That's a good start. Let's see what is next. Miss Chun. I love that flute. I really love that flute. Do, 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 do. Again, solid intro. And there's a beauty to this song that just, it really strikes me. It really does. So we're going to say, Miss Chun, yeah, you're really good. In terms of song quality, up there. I'd say it's pretty fitting. So maybe a little behind Gens in terms of fitness, but I like it a little better as a song. So I'm gonna go right here with it. So it's in the right quadrant. It's in the quadrant you want to be at. Um, but we've still got plenty to go. Let's see who is next. Oh, of course, it's Jimmy. It's Blanka. And you've got, again, the intros are so good. You've got that nice little stinger at the beginning where where you have, where it's clear you know who you're facing. As for a theme, I like it. There's a little, there's energy to this. There's makes it feel like it adds urgency to the fight. I don't know. See, it gets a little better here. I feel like right here when you add those extra couple of layers, it kicks it up a notch. So I would say we are going to go maybe a little better than Honda, a bit more fitting. So again, in that good quadrant, right there, we're still rolling. Everything so far is good. Let's see who's next. Oh boy, man. No, hot lemon. Yeah, it did. It did kick up a bit in pace when you got close. It actually wasn't close to zero as much. It was close when someone got under like 20% health, 20 or 30% health. So okay, you cannot deny the sacks. You cannot deny the sacks here. This is absolutely a banger. Now I'm gonna let this play because it gets even better in the second part. Right here. Okay, so Zangief. Obviously, one of the best songs. But you have to admit it doesn't really fit. You see this man coming down the street, you don't think upbeat jazz. You don't think that at all. So we have to admit it doesn't fit who Zangief is. But man, that song is so good. You are not going to get it out of your head. You're just not. It is such a. Oh man, I might get some heat for this one. I might get some heat for this one, and I'm okay with that. Let's take a look at who is next. See, I like this song. The one thing I don't. Well, here, let this play out because you're going to get to the next, to the heart of the song. Maybe Geef does like to hit up the jazz clubs. I mean, that's true, but who knows? And this is another one that kicks it up a notch once you get it past that intro, or once you get into the second phase of the song. See, it's good. It's good. Here's the thing I have to hold against it. That intro right there. That kick right at the beginning. And I think it's even better on Genesis. Let me pull it up. That da, 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 that sounds so triumphant, and it's just missing from this version. You know, it's downplayed so much. The heart of the song is good, but you have such an iconic part of that song missing. So I have to knock it down. Um, it's still good. It's still fitting, but I'm gonna put it right over here in the Chun Li zone. It, it's part of the Chundle. You get Guile's theme in the Chundle this time. Next is Dhalsim, I believe. You know, it's it's weird looking back when this character was first created. It's like, oh yeah, he uses yoga as a fighting style. That makes total sense. Um, some things age well better than others. That one did not age that well. Again, this doesn't really. It doesn't really feel like the right mix. It just doesn't do it for me. So I'm gonna have to go down here with Dhalsim. It gets better in the second part. That's the thing. It really doesn't, like this one in particular doesn't do it for me. You know, I know he's a bit of a pacifist, even though he's in a fighting tournament, but it just it just doesn't have the energy that I'm looking for. Um, so Dhalsim right on that good bad borderline, um, but still just above, just above. Let's go. Oh no, let me go back. Do we still have BOV Hawk? Yes, we do. Let me see your BOV Hawks in chat. Hawk. HAWK. Efren's going to kill me if I put this low. He is going to find out where I live, and he is going to pelt me with all sorts of various objects and things if I put this song low. And again, it's good as a standalone song, but it's not really. It doesn't really do it as the character for me. So I'm going to put it right over here, just a little bit above Honda. Maybe a little less fitting than Honda, but we're still there. We're still there. Let's take a look. Next is another commercial. Sorry. There we go. This intro really doesn't feel like Faye. Then you get to the heart of the song, and it's nice. It's really nice. It's sort of a flip of most of the ones we've seen, where the intro is really fitting, and then it kind of gets off the rails once you get to the heart of the song. This one's a little. This one's a little bit of a reverse. So Faye, I'll probably put up here. It's a good song, especially when you get to this part right here. But not quite, not quite what I'm looking for here. Next up. Oh boy. Dee Jay. I don't really like this sound. It gets a little better the second time around. But not really doing it for me. Not really doing it for me. We're going below the line here. It's kind of fitting, but we're going right here with DJ. I'm gonna get grilled for that, and I know that, I understand, but that's where I gotta go. Oh, next up, Cammy, I believe. Yep. And this is a good intro. That maybe you can take out one of those loops to get to this part quicker, but it's still really good. There a lot of with the techno stuff, it works really well for some. It doesn't really work well for others. Especially when you get to this, I think it works really well. So I'm gonna go maybe up here with Cammy. It is like these second phases of the main song. They're so good. They're so good across the board. I love this driving bass. I don't know what's going on with the fake lyrics here. Okay, in chat, I need to know: is the chorus? What do you hear in the chorus? This one's like almost like Zangief for me. It's really good, but not fitting. But here's my question: what do you hear right here? What's he saying? See, Hot Limit going with Hot Limit and Mean Scene going with fake lyrics. I don't think they're fake lyrics. I think he's saying we didn't Obama. I invite you. Now, granted, they didn't know. I believe this was released before. Uh, I'm pretty sure this was before in the arcade version before Obama got elected. So they're seeing into the future a little bit. We didn't Obama. 100% guaranteed. We didn't Obama. It's what it says. I don't make it up. I think we did skip Ken. So let's go back to Ken. Now, Ken, I was terrible with Ken before being terrible with Ken was cool, so this is my main. Um, I have a very special connection to this song, but it is not good. I'm sorry. It's the club mix did not do Ken any favors. Uh, we're going down here with it. And it hurts because because Ken was so good in Street Fighter 2. Uh, like this intro is so iconic. On the sea docks, you're fighting in front of the ship. You got the boxes on the end, or no, the barrels. Barrels, my bad. It just when obviously you can't just do the same thing over and over when you're making new music, but it's tough to hold a candle up to that. Like that, especially him and Guile. They've got those two great stingers right at the beginning, and when you don't have that, it's an uphill battle to try and get back on track. So Ken, Yeah, not really doing it. That's the one thing I have to give Street Fighter V from the jump. Like Ken and Ryu were two of the biggest misses I'd say in Street Fighter 4 musically. They nailed those. They nailed those in Street Fighter 5. You know, it feels epic. It feels like a good fight theme. Um, so we're back on track. Let's go to the next one after Balrog. I love this. It's maybe not as much of a fighting theme in the beginning, but it's that beautiful intro. And then it just kicks it up to another gear. That's up here. This is a banger. It's a really good song. And it's really fitting. And then when you get to that second part, how can you not love this? How can you not love this? How can you not love that? It's just so beautiful. If you get a chance, there's a pair of brothers. I forget their names, but they did a guitar cover of his theme. It's Sange and Kev. I'm gonna put the link in chat. Uh, I don't want to play it because that's their. I don't want to take views away from them. Hypocrite me. Sorry, but check them out. They did a really nice cover of this song. It is awesome. Definitely give that a listen. Who's next? I believe Guy or no Bipson. It's Bipson. And again, it's that club feel that doesn't quite work for. But once you get to the heart of the song, there's a bit more threat to it. Right here. So I'd say it's good. It's pretty fitting. Yeah. The club stuff is not as big of a detraction here as it is in some of the other songs. This is a pretty solid mix. So uh, again, doesn't quite have that sense of danger that I'm looking for, but yeah, the Street Fighter Two theme you had those bells in the beginning. It really set the mood really well, and that's missing here. Um, But again, this one isn't so bad. There's some other ones that are a bit more offensive, and we'll probably come across some. And then we get the Shoto, the Boss Shoto set, where you've got three or four that are very similar. This one, in my opinion, is probably one of the better ones of them. Pretty fitting. Probably not as good as Chun Li for me. Uh, I, I, ugh. I'd probably go right here. It's tough. See, it's good. It doesn't really scream Akuma to me. But that's okay. We got plenty of others to go. Next up, Die. This is funky. This is funkier than it should be, but I love it. I love it. It's not fitting as much, but probably there. You know, it does have that old kung fu movie sort of feeling, that sort of 70s. And this part is nice. This little breakdown right in the middle is so nice, but it's not really Guy. That's the thing. So let's move on. Next up, that guitar is some great guitar work right there. I really like the weird syncopation here. This one is sneaky good. It might not be everyone's favorite, but it is really, really good. Move Adon's out a little bit to make some room. But yeah, I like Adon's a little more, but this one is good. Sneaky good. I love this organ too. It's just there's a lot of good stuff there. There's a lot of good stuff there. Um, it's right up there. It's in the good quadrant. It's near. It's in the good quadrant of the good quadrant, obviously. So there's a couple others I like a little better, but this one's really really good. Next up, Mr. Dan Hibiki, and I don't know. I don't dislike it. Dan's Dan's weird to place because he's not an absolute joke. He's good enough to be where you can actually do damage with him. But I like the funkiness of this. This part though feels a lot more Danish than the intro. So I don't know, I'd say here probably a little above Akuma, but I don't know if it's super well fitting for him. But next up is Rolento. And Rolento, uh, I like this part. The intro is good. This part is good. I don't know if they're necessarily as good together as most people would think. This is pretty good. I'll probably put it right there with Get, or maybe a little lower. I don't like it as much as I like Chun Li, but it's got a good feeling to it. It's pretty fitting. And there's good energy to it. I don't know. It's just something that I can't really put my finger on that I'm not really feeling. Oh man, Sakura, 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 Sakura. I really love this song. And then the violin comes in, and oh my goodness. Let me back up a little bit, but yeah, this is just mwah, 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 all those chef's kisses. And then it gets better the second part. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Next up, Cody. Every time I hear this, I still think of Red Rapper's version. I came here to fight. I'm the definition of hype. I'm terrible. Please do not clip that. My God. It's good. I don't know how fitting it is for Cody, though. Future mayor, trapped in prison. He doesn't really. I don't know how much beat turning he does in prison or in office. So it's good. Probably not fitting for Cody as a character, but it is good. It's really good. I like it. Who is next? Uh-oh. Another one of the boss shadows, Evil Ryu. So it's a nice combination of Ryu's and Akuma's theme, but then there's that wub wub, just going through wub 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 wub. So I have to put it back here. Actually, probably down here. I just really dislike the wub wub in this. If you take that out, it's a much better song. If you take out the wub wub, it's a much better song. Let's see. Dudley, I believe, is next. You know those songs that always say, that just sort of seem to fit a certain menu. Like this is the perfect song for just jumping back into some games. I don't know. I don't know how fitting it is in terms of, I don't think Dudley would be talking about getting on the dance floor. But like the instrumental feels very fitting for him. And it is a good song. So I'd have to put it over here. It's very good. I love it. I don't know if it's necessarily Dudley. But quality song. Who's next? I will never get over the fact that healing was an ultra instead of a super. If you make one change, that one change, Elena is a much better character. I just don't. Anyway, that's beside the point. Here's the bees in your head. Here's Elena. It's just so repetitive. If there were any other lyrics to cut through to break up the beats in your head, I feel it would benefit. Because the instrumental is really good. if if it just wasn't so omnipresent, it would be a much better song. So Elena, pretty fitting. I'm gonna have to go down here for it. I'm sorry, Mean Scene. I'm sorry, Mean Scene. I know this is your jam, but this one really doesn't do it for it. It's pretty fitting, but the beats are just too far. They're buried too far in my head to do anything with them. Who is next? Ibuki. This is such a chill song. This was a vibe before people started saying things were a vibe. This is so relaxing. It absolutely does not fit Ibuki. It This song does not fit Ibuki, but it's so good. So I got to go back here with it. Quality song, just nothing to do with the character. It's nice. It's sort of like the a lot of the characters from Street Fighter 3. Do you focus on more on the when you're creating a theme for them? Do you focus on more of getting the vibe from Third Strike or Street Fighter 3, or do you focus more on the character? I feel like with a lot of these, they focus more on the game. You know, Dudley, Ibuki, Makoto, which we'll probably hear in a little bit. Um, it, I wish they would have leaned more towards character, but that's just one guy's opinion. Who cares about what I got to say? We still got some more songs to go though. We're 29. We got 15 to go. 15 to go. Let's close out strong. So Yoon and Yang's themes are obviously very similar. They're remixes of the same song. Um, I really like the frantic energy of this one. I feel like this is one of the ones where the techno helps a lot. So I'm gonna go. See, I want to go like right here with it, but then this part right here. God, that's so good. I actually like it a little more than Sakura. It's probably about the same as Vegas. So go right up there with it. Who we got next? Like like I'm a sucker for high energy. I'm a sucker for upbeat songs. But yeah, that one's so good. Next up, fitting Yang. And this is fitting as well. I just don't like it quite as much. So I'm gonna go right there with it. Let's see how they. It's good. It's really good. This one comes down solely to personal preference. I mean, obviously, all of this is personal preference, but this one, it's really good. It's just I like Yoon's better. I like that energy when it comes to a stage like that. This one feels more like a stage theme, where the other one feels more like a character theme. Next up. Let's go to the circus, shall we? Hugo. This one is one of the. one of the ones that feels like they focus more on the character. You know, they slowed it down from the Third Strike version. Um, they didn't have the random circus going through it, which I think was a really good decision. It feel it feels a bit intimidating. It feels like there's someone about to do damage to you. So yeah, I think this is pretty good and pretty damn fitting. So I'm gonna go here. Actually let me spread this out a little bit, just so we got more room to work with. But yeah, a lot of the Third Strike characters, I like the Third Strike version better. This is one of the exceptions. Um, let's see who's next. Makoto. This is one where again they it feels like they did a really good job of bringing it over from Third Strike to Street Fighter 4. I don't know if because when I look at Makoto, I don't necessarily think drum and bass. So I don't know how fitting it is, but it is really good. Especially the next loop when it kind of takes a couple layers away. Right here, I believe. Or no, next loop. I'm sorry. So it's going to be just a little below Dudley's, in my opinion. Like right here, this is so good. This is so good. Doesn't fit the character, in my opinion, but it's really good. Um, so yeah, I'm putting it up. Quality song, just not quite as fitting. Next up is Abel. And I really do like this, that intro. This one gets slept on. I feel like Abel's themes get slept on. It's really good. And you've got, that persistent drum. It feels like someone's coming after you, someone's coming to hurt you. I really like it. I'm going to go right here with it. And I love this piano. I really do. God. Oh, yeah. So, I love this one. This one's so good. Who is next? Best use of techno. Twinkie is right. This one is a Twinkie. Were you talking about Viper's theme or Abel's theme? Calling it a banger. Both. Okay. Yeah, you're right on both counts. This one, I love the lyrics in here. That sort of inhuman. Those inhuman vocals really add to this. This one's so good. Oh boy, I'm gonna create a little more room up here. Yeah. There we go. But yeah, techno doesn't work for a lot of characters in here. It works for Viper. This one is absolutely gold. Next up, is it Rufus? It is Rufus. By the way, if I ever make top 8 at CEO, I am entering as Rufus. I'm telling you right now. I'm getting the game of death jumpsuit. I'm pasting some yellow peach fuzz on my chest. It's happening. It is happening. This one this one isn't necessarily fitting, but I like it a lot. I'm gonna put it right there. I don't know. I can't put it above Cammy, even though I really like this part right here. Uh, so right there, a little lower. There we go. This gets, you know, there's, I'm using MF Cafe's tier maker on this. These images are fairly large compared to the space I have to work with, so that makes it a little more difficult to get everything accurately placed. So I'm going to be sliding things around not because I like any songs less than I do on this image right here, but simply because I want to make sure all the characters get their little corner of the screen to shine. Maybe except for one. We'll come up to that later. Bust out your low tier salutes. It is El Fuerte. And this song's so good. This song is so good. You don't want to like it because you hate playing against the character, but the song is good. I'm gonna put it right up there. Maybe switch it with Chun. Switch it with Chun. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Again, this one's good use of techno. This one is good use of techno and electronica. But who do we have next? Next is Seth. Come on. Seth's theme is good once you get past the intro. The intro sounds like it's trying to start up. Let me play it again. The intro sounds like it's trying to start up and it's taken a while. You got a couple false starts there. Once you get into it though, like it doesn't see once you get past that intro, it's great. The intro I feel brings it down a bit. Um it's definitely fitting, but I just gotta go a little lower on this. I'm sorry, Twinkie. That intro really hurts it. If you change it up a little bit and got to that the core of the song a little quicker or with a little better transition, it'd be up there. But for me, it's just not quite there for me. Who is next? We've got six left. Six left. Gouken. Uh, Again, in that, you know, it's tough to put it far away from Akuma because it's They're so similar. It feels fitting, but probably not as good. So I'd probably go there with it. Not too far away. But this, this is fine. This part here. But then it's just, oh no. Oh, it just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it for me. But that's okay. That's okay. Not everything's going to be everyone's cup of tea. Here we go. See this? That is the corner of excellence. This is so good. It's a big part of why it's so disappointing to hear the theme in Street Fighter V because it's so freaking good here. It is, it's that there's a danger to it, there's a sexiness to it, there's an energy to it. It just fits her. And then the screen, it's just, this is perfect. This is perfect. In terms of Street Fighter 4, this is the perfect theme. When you bring it down a little bit, just a little bit, slow it down, lull you into a false sense of security, and then let's bring it home strong, shall we? Ba, 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 ba. God, that's perfection. That's 92 seconds of perfection right there. It's in the corner of excellence. It owns the corner of excellence. That is absolutely the song of Street Fighter 4, and I will not change my mind on that. There are others that are close. There's a couple on here that are close. Like maybe this one? Maybe not. Right. You know how Juri was in the corner of excellence? Decapre, you are going into the corner of shame. You're just gonna stay there. Well, no, that's not fair. That's not fair. But it's just not. It feels like a Beat Mania song. It feels like one of Naoki's Sorrow songs. It doesn't really feel like a character theme, at least for a fighting game. So I'm gonna, it's in the corner of shame. It's close to the corner of shame. It is far away from the corner of excellence. Like I like this part. Okay, when you get into here, like that part's good. That part's good. I'll move it up a bit. But man, going from one extreme to the other here. E- Easily the best song to easily the worst, in my opinion. So it's a roller coaster here. We're getting to the end. It's a roller coaster. We still got a couple of hills and valleys yet. Uh, who is next? You know what's? Can I zoom in on? No, it's not going to let me zoom in. But with Hakan, well, with this promo art, I always wondered why the kids were in, from the Mushroom Kingdom. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'll come back to that later, but oh man. Like, this song is fine. I don't know what's up with that boing. I don't know why we need that. We do not need that boing in here. And then this part is fine. It's fine. It's not terrible. It's not offensive. It's just there. Just for I'm moving it back to the boings because it just why? Of all the choices you could have made putting that song together, why'd you have to bring the boings? I just don't. I just it. Someone may have said make it wacky. Oh, 7 kids all looking like Toad cosplays. You got the wife in the background that is also in a Toad cosplay for some reason. I don't know if that's Hakan's thing, if that's just a local law, if they're all heading to animate some sort of anime convention in Turkey. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just going to move on. We've got 2 more songs left. Oni. Again. It's like, okay, we've got Akuma, but let's add some wub wub. It does feel frantic, but again, I can't move it all the way, all that far away from Akuma's. But then this part comes in. Like, this second half feels so much better than the first. So much better than the first. So I don't know. Maybe move it right there so they're connected. But yeah, it just I'm not a huge fan of almost any of the Shoto themes really in this one, except for Sakura. She got blessed. She got blessed in this game. The other ones, maybe not so much. We got one more. Let's take it home strong, shall we? And we will take it home strong. Poison's theme is, oh, it is fabulous. Honey Child, it is just, that sax is awesome. That rhythm is awesome. The bass is awesome. It's yeah, it's right up there for me. So let me create a little more room. So there we are. I'm just letting this play out. I'm letting this play out because it's awesome. Like that part. How can you hate this song? How can you listen to this and hate that song? I don't know. It's awesome. We're gonna fade this out. My cheap old fade out. So here we are. Here's our tier list. I'm gonna actually screenshot that so I can post that to the interwebs as soon as we're done here. But yeah, again, this is just one man's opinion. if you want to make your own, actually, yeah, I would love to see your own. Let me put the link in the chat. I'll put it in YouTube as well once we upload there. But yeah, there's the link to the tier list. I would love to see your own. It's not going to be correct unless you copy mine, but you know, to each their own. But yeah, this was sort of a last minute change of plans. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe we can do some more of these in the future. Maybe I can get Alon to do tier list versus tier list and see who wins. Spoiler alert, it will be me because I am the king of the tier list. But thank you for joining me. I hope you had a good time. I don't know exactly what form it's going to take on YouTube. There's probably going to be a lot edited out, but yeah, in you know, I hope you liked the show. As always, good night, Canada.